President Biden's been hosting the Summit for Democracy. It says, hey, we're not afraid of letting the elected government of Taiwan to present in this Summit for Democracy. But here's the problem. When that elected leader came on to talk to President Biden and participate in the summit, they had a map. And the map was really showing how they were surrounded by countries that were not democratic. But then she came back to speak, and the video was dropped. And the reporting is that the video was dropped because she singled out Taiwan as separate from China.
So apparently while this was going on, the National Security Council and the White House office angrily contacted the State Department, concerned that it appeared to show Taiwan as a distinct country, when all it did was show Taiwan on the map, green, which is what the report indicated, as a country that was open, which they are, and surrounded by a lot of countries that are not open at all. So it was just reflective of what the report said, but we invited them in.
Why are we silencing people in a debate? Why are we trying to make sure that the conversation is cooked and that everybody just shows up and performs like an actor and we already know the outcome? You know where that happens? In places like China and Russia.
It shows the weakness. They're so scared about the Chinese having a fit over diplomatically over a green dot on a map because the country they want to invade.
This map simply showed that Taiwan is a democracy, and that is actually the truth. They're one of the few democracies in that part of the world. And so the whole discussion was about which parts of Asia are free and democratic, which parts are not. That irony, is lost on the Biden administration because the whole purpose of the summit was a summit for what? Democracies.
No matter the issue we talk about in Washington, D.C., when something goes against the narrative of this administration, censorship seems to be what they jump to. And that's what they jumped to in this case.
It's really indicative of what the progressives want to see, which is a silencing of debate and a inability to hear other people's point of views.
It shows weakness. If you can't have a summit for democracy, shouldn't it upset the totalitarians? Shouldn't it upset the Chinese Communist Party? Shouldn't it upset the North Koreans?
Chinese to participate?
No, because they're not a democracy. So, but isn't that part of these summits is to isolate them and make them feel like they're bad?
I mean, the idea that you had Taiwan come was a good thing.
Sure. I mean,
but then censoring them and editing them is a big mistake.
If this is how we treat our Democrat allies, okay?
Yeah.
Then why are our enemies going to be concerned?
We're inviting the Taiwanese government in. We invited them to the summit. And then when we have them there and they are ranked as an open and free society, we let them get edited because the National Security Council says, the Chinese are going to get upset. Like, we shouldn't be a little upset with the Chinese government over a couple of things?
The only reason to take down that video is because you're worried about Chinese repercussions. At what point in time was America really ever concerned about Chinese repercussions?
I think this is a new low point for the Biden administration and for Secretary of State Blinken. To have diplomacy without debate is a joke. It certainly should not be happening in America. And, telling our allies and our friends and others around the world what to say when they show up at a multilateral or bilateral conversation is unacceptable.
It's embarrassing to be the leading democracy in the world and treat another democracy like Taiwan, who is so reliant on the United States, like that, because we bow down to China. But not the U.S. bows down to no one. You don't bow down.